So I've noticed that it seems like certain types of people are really bothered by the word cuck.
There's a new word in town.
You know what they like to call people today, I've noticed? Cuck. It's like the kids on the internet have found a new insult.
You can hear it coming over the horizon like a swarm of angry geese. Cock, 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 cock.
Before we even get started, let's be clear. Doing a video on the word cuck is the most cuck thing in the world. I'm the cuckiest cuck this side of Cuckopolis. I know, I'm aware.
Well, it's not doing a video about the word cuck in and of itself. It's more the fact that you work for Mike.com.
Cuck comes from the word cuckold. By definition, a cuckold is a guy whose wife cheats on him.
You've made a cuckold of me.
I know.
Well, yeah, you know, context and meaning evolve. Ratchet isn't always something I would work on my car with, and you've left something out of the original meaning here. The word comes from the cuckoo bird's name, in reference to its habit of laying its eggs in another bird's nest. Remember this detail for later.
Over time, getting cheated on became a fetish, and naturally, it's led to a substantial amount of interracial cuckold porn.
White husband watches his wife get rammed by a large black man.
So, labeling someone a cuck became a way to emasculate them.
Yeah, see, now you're getting it. The context evolved to serve a different meaning, and now it's in the process of evolving again.
If you're a cuck, you're a beta, you're weak, you're effeminate, you're a white knight beta cuck. You're me.
And in proper cuck fashion, you admit it with an air of acceptance. How about that?
Two groups in particular have really latched onto the word. The good, wholesome folks at 4chan,
Guilty as charged, fam.
who use the word to offend any guy they deem submissive or weak,
Ultimate cuck.
and ultra-right-wing conservatives, who use the word to offend any conservative they deem submissive, compromising, or weak.
Please clap.
But see, you aren't really doing anything to dispel the context of the word here, you're just demonstrating it.
Suddenly, any self-described conservative who did something even slightly socially progressive, like accept someone based on race, religion, or sexual orientation, was cucky.
I think it's plain to see for anyone who isn't an SJW that supporting Black Lives Matter isn't a matter of racial acceptance. If anything, it's racial self-flagellation. People are basically using the word cuck to describe a lack of self-respect, a lack of pride. For another example, you might call a man who dates single moms a cuck because he's raising a child that isn't his. That might actually be contextually closer to the actual etymology of the word than something like watching somebody else fuck your partner.
When Paul Ryan called out Donald Trump for being anti-Semitic, he was called a cuck-servative. Basically, the options became be racist or get cucked.
You might be wondering where the clear, definitive example of Donald Trump being anti-Semitic or racist is, but it's nowhere to be found in the video. They just keep going. Cocks, am I right?
Next thing you know, you're a cuck-servative if you're a race mixer, like Nick Searcy was getting in trouble for adopting a black kid. Or you're a cuck-servative if you're Ezra Levant and you're Jewish and you don't hate Israel.
Yeah, see, it's sort of a point of pride that someone would want to have their own kid instead of taking care of somebody else's. And I'm still not sure what anti-Semitism has to do with anything. The University of Missouri, the same school that produced Melissa Click, recently had a spate of complaints about anti-Semitic rhetoric and graffiti. So this is at a college run by explicitly left-leaning people, SJW types, and not by people you'd generally hear using the word cuck. In fact, these are people that I would probably refer to as cucks. Like, does anyone know if American universities are secretly being run by the alt-right? Something tells me that they're not.
Now the term is used to describe anyone who's socially progressive. In fact, Urban Dictionary, where middle schoolers go to learn the active verb of Houdini, defines a cuck as a demasculated millennial liberal male who often speaks of white privilege and modern feminism, which is like my whole brand.
The best part is that not even the controlled environment of a scripted video is helping this guy play off how uncomfortable he is with this word.
If you're white and you say anything bad about other white people, you're definitely cuck. That's why Louis C.K. has been crowned Cuck King.
I mean, everything that we introduce to the world is shitty. Meaning white people.
Yeah, see, there's something about blatantly hating yourself and your own entire race that kind of turns me off a little bit. Quick, name a thing I used in the production of this video that was invented by a black person.
So now it's like, oh, you think women deserve equal pay? You're a cuck.
Yeah, you are, because you keep repeating this meme that women don't get paid equally when, in fact, they do. It's been illegal to pay women less just for being women for decades now. People earn in relation to how much work they put in. And cuck logic would dictate that men should major in women's studies instead of women majoring in engineering, or maybe that women should be paid extra money in order to balance things out.
Don't worry, ladies. You don't have to work any harder than you already do. You can just have some of my earnings,
said the cuck.
Oh, you think Black Lives Matter? You're such a cuck.
Yeah, because as I mentioned in a recent video, Black Lives Matter was founded by actual black nationalists who worship a cop killer. And most of the people held up as martyrs and victims of police brutality by Black Lives Matter were actually violent criminals who tried to fight the police. In fact, the amount of violent crime committed by black people as a demographic is more disproportionate than the amount of officer-involved shootings in which a black suspect is the target.
But that's not true. That's racist. Those statistics are the product of a white supremacist judicial system and police force,
said the cuck.
Oh, you're Donald Trump? Miraculously, you're the only person who's not a cuck. It's almost like his campaign had a hand in incubating this entire offensive, ugly cuck culture. A small hand. He has very small hands.
So, you see what he just did there, right? He's attempting to emasculate Trump by repeating this tiny hands meme. There are two main things I see at play here. One, the typical mantra of an ideologue that it's okay when I do it, and two, that there's absolutely no correlation between the tiny hands thing and Trump's policies. You see, typically when someone gets called a cuck, it's because a position or idea or policy that they have shows a lack of strength and self-respect. Repeating the wage gap myth? You might be a cuck. Blaming the black community's problems on the racist white police? You might be a cuck. Want to give illegal immigrants a free pass instead of making them earn the privilege of coming to your country? You might be a cuck. And that last one is particularly apt. Ignoring or downplaying the issues of your own people and your own society in order to give a pass to migrants who don't speak your prevailing language, don't have any advanced skills to offer, and are straining your government budget and your economy with their presence is a pretty cucked thing to do. Not entirely unlike raising a child that isn't yours, or approving of somebody else fucking your partner in front of you. Basically, calling somebody a cuck is like calling them a faggot or a weak bitch. It means that you don't respect yourself or your own interests, so why should anybody else respect you?
Cuck is an effective insult because it looks like every other ultra-offensive word wrapped into one and covered in weird sexual racist overtones.
Yeah, valuing monogamy and your heritage and your country and stuff. So weird and strange. So out there. Those right-wingers sure are freaks, huh?
But people use it so often now, it doesn't even mean anything.
I see people calling people cucks all the time. They're using it so often, even when it's not really applicable, and they're doing it because it's a new one. Like, we got a new one! Yes!
I really wish Joe Rogan would just go into his isolation tank and never come out. I've heard a lot of talk about generational divides recently, and the generation that gave us alternative rock has no room to talk about any of this.
So feel free to call me a cuck in the comments. I already know you will. I want you to.
You see that? That is the face of a man who's dead inside.
I'm a cuck, fuck my lover, fuck my sister, fuck my mother, fuck my country, fuck my race, then finish on my face, and then hell I'll drink your cream. Just let me lay between you and my wife after you have your way.
So take her as she is, get her pregnant, and then I will raise your kids. Rest assured that I will pay for everything. I don't need a dime. The safety word is starfish. Now have a great time.
I'm a cuck, fuck my lover, fuck my sister, fuck my mother, fuck my country, fuck my race,
then finish on my face, and